Good afternoon, everyone. We will call this December 13, 2022 meeting of the Air Pollution Control Board to order, and we'll begin. Madam Clerk, if you could please call the roll.
Thank you. Board Member Blatz.
Here.
Board Member Edmonds.
Here.
Board Member Huber. Board Member Long.
Here.
Board Member Lopez.
Here.
Board Member Parks.
Here. Yes, here.
Here.
Board Member Pollock.
Present.
Board Member Rollins. You're here.
I see him. Yeah. He's here.
Board Member Zaragoza.
Here.
Board Member Huber. Thank you. Chair Levere.
I'm here, and we have been celebrating two of our retiring supervisors this morning. I'd like to ask one of them, Supervisor Parks, to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Would you please join me in the pledge to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have the minutes from our meeting of October 11th, 2022. Are there any questions or comments or a motion to approve?
So moved, Zaragoza. Second, Pollock.
Thank you both. Madam Clerk?
Board Member Blatz.
Yes.
Board Member Edmonds.
Yes.
Board Member Huber.
Yes.
Board Member Long.
Yes.
Board Member Lopez.
Yes.
Board Member Parks.
Yes.
Board Member Pollock.
Yes.
Board Member Rollins.
Yes.
Board Member Zaragoza.
Yes.
And Chair Levere.
Yes. And next, we have our agenda review. Mr. Gassemi? Is there any changes or revisions to the agenda this morning? No. Okay, then we'll skip that. Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment this morning?
Chair Levere, we don't have any public comment. However, as a reminder to members of the public who wish to address the board today with live public comments on any agenda item, please visit ventura.org/COB/APCB for participation information and instructions. For in-person public comment, please check in with the deputy clerk at the entrance of the boardroom. If you wish to make comments, you must be in the boardroom. If you're participating remotely, you must be connected to the meeting via Zoom or telephone before the close of the public comment period for that agenda item. Requests to make live public comments on an agenda item will be accepted until the public comment period for each agenda item is complete. For our remote participants, please accept a prompt to be promoted when your name is called, and you will need to unmute your mic when it's your turn to speak. For all public comment participants, your name will be called in the order the registration was received. And again, Chair Levere, there are no requests to speak for this item.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I know we have a kind of some echo. Is that from a laptop? Okay. I don't know if there's a laptop or a Zoom going that. While we do that, why don't we, are there any board member comments this morning? Seeing none, anything online? Okay, no. Then I will like to invite Mr. Gassemi, if you can come, APCO comments?
Good afternoon, Chair Lover, members of the board, Ali Ghassemi, APCD Executive Officer. In regard to personnel and vacancies, we are currently interviewing for an air quality specialist position in enforcement. We had about 14 candidates, and first 3 are being interviewed as we speak. The recruitment for supervising air quality engineer in planning division position was opened last week. The first review of the application is scheduled for January 6th. We are continuing working with the county HR on recruitments for monitoring manager, air quality specialist, and air quality engineer positions. I'm also happy to inform you that Ventura County Transportation Commission awarded the Port of Hueneme $10.4 million on congestion mitigation and air quality, which referred to as CMAQ grant funding on December 2nd. This CMAQ funding will greatly reduce air pollution in Ventura County, and it will be used on the port's North Terminal Shore power projects. There was a press conference on December 5th at 10 a.m., and the staff participated in that. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Kissimmee. Any questions or comments? No? Okay. Then we'll move on. Our regular agenda begins this afternoon with item 9, which is the adoption of a further resolution authorizing remote teleconference meetings of this board for a 30-day period. With a motion on that item?
So moved.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Ms. Edmonds. Madam Clerk?
Board Member Blatz.
Yes.
Board Member Edmonds.
Yes.
Board Member Huber.
Yes.
Board Member Long.
Yes.
Board Member Lopez.
Yes.
Board Member Parks.
Yes.
Board Member Pollock.
Yes.
Board Member Rollins. Board Member Zaragoza.
Yes.
Board Member Rollins.
Did we lose him?
We did.
Okay.
Chair Lavere.
Yes, thank you. And next, I would like to take this opportunity to present some service awards to several of our colleagues who are retiring and leaving the board. And for that, I'd like to start with some comments from Mr. Kissimmee.
My pleasure. Ali Ghassemi, for the record, Ali Ghassemi, Executive Officer. I have had the pleasure of working with our outgoing board members since 2018 when I joined the Ventura County APCD. Our agency mission is to protect public health from the adverse health effects of air pollution. Our supervisors and council members' review and approval of our projects have been instrumental in our efforts to accomplish our missions. Their attention to details are amazing, and their insight, comprehension, and passion for a healthy environment are compelling. I will miss their presence in our boardroom dearly. On behalf of my agency, I would like to congratulate them on their retirement and other assignments that they may take. I also like to ask Chair Lavere if he would come to the podium, and we have some service award in recognition of their contribution and achievements to provide them, if that would be possible, or
Yeah, why don't we just take some board comments first, and then we can,
Okay.
that'd be, I think, good. I'll start. I recognize that this is another board on top of everybody's already busy lives. And I know how much work it is to be a council member, to be a supervisor, and to go that extra mile to serve on this board, to be engaged, to be up to speed on everything that APCD is doing. It's a real time commitment, and I just want to express my appreciation to all of the retiring members for your absolute commitment to this district's mission, to your service on this board, and I want to express my utmost thanks for your years of service. I think most of these members, you've all been on the standing committee, you've done so much to further the mission of APCD, so thank you. Mayor Zaragoza?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to thank also the retiring board members. I've been a member of APCD for about approximately 16 years, and I've served with quite a few individuals, but there's a few individuals like Ryan Blatz and Lynn Edsman and David Pollock and Mayor Richard Rollins. It's just been an honor to work with individuals like you guys. I know that you put a lot of work, for many, many years. I know that David Pollock has been in Moore Park for many, many, many years, served in with him on the standing committee and also hiring individuals. And Lynn Edmonds, it's a pleasure working with you. And Mayor Rollins, just absolutely a pleasure working with you. And congratulate you also on your retirement and also for the service that that all of you provided, Blatz and Edmonds and Pollock and Mayor Rollins. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Pollock?
Thank you, Mr. Levere. And I wanted to thank Ali for, I have stepped down from my city council as of last Wednesday, and Ali was actually at our city hall in Moore Park to present the service award to me. And I was very grateful for that personal touch. So thank you very much, Ali. And thank all of you for your collaboration and work over the years. I've had the honor of serving as chair twice. And I've enjoyed all the work that we've done together. So as Mayor Zaragoza said, we all have a lot of responsibilities, and I certainly have, but Air Pollution Control Board has been one of my joys, and I really appreciated working with all of you, and I intend to stay in touch.
Ms. Edmonds?
I wanted to say thank you to the Air Pollution Control Board, all the staff, and to Ali too. I have enjoyed this so much. This has been a wonderful committee, and it's such a professionally run organization. And it also aims towards wonderful goals. So my heart is with you all, and I'll miss you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
I also just want to give my appreciation to the members that are leaving, and also Councilmember Blatz and Pollock, that you were able to also chair and lead, and you were excellent at doing that. And I really appreciate the extra work that you took on for that and those subcommittees that you served on also. And I really do appreciate your time. But you ran the meetings very orderly, and it's wonderful to be on this committee. I know over time we've actually initiated some great programs. I remember doing the generators, trying to get cleaner generators for the farmland, and but we've done some good stuff together. I think probably our favorite program is the one that protects the whales as well as the blue skies. So it's been wonderful to serve on this, but I just really want to thank the input that we've received. Councilmember Edmonds has been also wonderful in her input, always
Thank you.
doing her homework and asking really good questions and keeping us all on the ball here. So just thank you all for the good work, and also incredibly delighted to have our executive director here too, executive officer. We've done some good things together, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
I really just want to say thank you, all of you, for either represented your city or your county very well, and making sure that we meet the needs and the air quality for your areas. It's great to see when everyone can work together in the common good. And so those that are leaving, we will miss you, and know that public comment is only a step away to make sure that we do continue to do the job that you do so well, and really appreciate all of your time and effort. So thank you very much.
Can anybody hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Board Member Rollins.
Oh yeah, somehow my phone, my iPad died out, so I'm on my phone, so I can't. I raised my hand, but it didn't work. Anyway, when I got on the Port Hueneme City Council, right before it, I was recommended by the late John Sharkey that I should actively try to be a part of this committee. And I'm glad that he gave me this advice, because the good things that this committee does to improve the quality of air and the quality of life within our county, I think is, just stupendous. And I've always been impressed by staffing on the cutting edge of the latest technologies, and actively seeking the grants so that we can keep that quality. And I've also been impressed by the staff as far as making very complicated, highly technical processes simple so that we laymen can understand them. So I feel in good hands with the staff that has been developed to continue this mission.
Thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Rollins. Mr. Blatz. Can't see you through the flowers.
I'm hiding up behind over Supervisor Park's beautiful flowers over here. Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be on this board. I want to thank Ollie and the staff at APCD who have been absolutely world-class, as well as the county staff. We've spent a lot of time on the standing committee, working with all kinds of individuals who you see behind the scenes. So to all of you, thank you. I know you're the machinery that keeps this thing running. It's been very prideful to me to be, I was told I was the first member from Ojai to be on this board, and that means a lot to me. Also that since I've been here, we've been able to get Ojai's air quality back in compliance, which is a very big deal to our community. And I know that that's only with many years of work before I got here, but also continuing that, and I'm trustful that that's going to continue. And I just want to thank everyone who I've worked with. And to all of you, thank you, and keep up the good work as we're gone. And it's been a real pleasure. And I hope that, I know I will be talking to some of the future council members in Ojai to suggest that they should try and get on this board as well. I think it's important that we have a rep, and it's been a real pleasure. So thank you.
Thank you, Board Member Blatz. Supervisor Huber?
Yes, thank you to Mr. Cassini and to your highly capable and dedicated staff for your hard work on behalf of Ventura County residents. And I want to thank my colleagues here on the board. I enjoyed working with you and to protect and benefit our constituents. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Supervisor Lopez.
Thank you, Chair. I want to add to the thanks to all the members for your work on this board, and especially because as I'm coming in newer to this board, I see the work that you have all put into the meeting the needs and the quality of our community, and look forward to carrying that forward and appreciate what you have done to support our community. So thank you for your service, not just here, but in your respective communities.
Thank you. Great. All right, why don't we, do you want to come up?
Yes.
We can do it up here. And I know we have some service awards we would like to hand out for those members who are here in person today.
Because I wasn't going to go down there.
nice when it says dedication and provide.
Thank you, Mr. Gissemi, for organizing all of this and making sure our retiring board members are properly recognized.
It has been my pleasure. I'm going to miss all of them.
Okay, now we have a few public hearings regarding some memorandums of agreement, and we will start with item 11, which is a public hearing. Mr. Abilene, great to see you again. I will open up the public hearing on item 11.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Chair Levere, members of the board, APCO Gissemi. For the record, my name is Robert Abelo with the Labor Relations Division of the County Executive Office. I'm here to request that your board commence a public hearing on the adoption of a successor MOA between the district and the Service Employees International Union, Local 721, or SCIU, to waive the second hearing and adopt the MOA at the conclusion of today's hearing to expedite its implementation. The key economic terms of this MOA include a 3-year term, a 5.5% general salary increase in the first year, 4% in the second year, and 3.5% in the third year. Increases to the county flexible credit allowance. These increases are outlined in the attached MOA. The establishment of a medical opt-out option, which includes a taxable cash payment. Juneteenth as a new paid holiday. Increases to the deferred compensation with the highest match of 3% for the employees who contribute at least 6% to their 401k. Increases to the bilingual premium and safety shoe reimbursements. 2 lump sum $1,000 payments for eligible full-time employees. The initial payment of $1,000 in January 2023 with the final payment of $1,000 in January 2024. Eligible part-time employees will receive 2 similar payments of $500. The addition of the County of Ventura Employee Telework Program will now be included in the MOA. Modified bereavement language, allowing employees to utilize an additional day off of their accrued leave time when traveling to distant locations. An increase of 100 hours to the SEIU bank totaling 500 hours. These hours are used for grievances and presentations. 2 additional members, now 18, for the SEIU Negotiation Committee, and the establishment of a joint labor management committee wherein the county and SEIU will have monthly meetings to address the matters of common concern. And I just want to thank your board. I want to thank APCO Gissemi for all the help and guidance through these negotiations. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Abelo. Any questions or comments on this item? Any public speakers?
Chair Levere, there are no requests to speak for this item. Thank you.
Okay, then I will close the public hearing and return it to the board for action.
I would motion approve, and thank you very much to staff and the negotiation team, bargaining team. It's always hard to get these things done, and really appreciate the partnership on both sides. So thank you.
And I'll second it. Oh. I'll be glad to second it. And I'm very impressed with your representation and with your presentation. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Board Member Blatz.
Yes.
Board Member Edmonds.
Yes.
Board Member Huber.
Yes.
Board Member Long.
Yes.
Board Member Lopez.
Yes.
Board Member Parks.
Yes.
Board Member Pollock.
Yes.
Board Member Rollins.
Yes.
Board Member Zaragoza.
That was a yes. I read the lips. You're on mute, Mayor.
And Chair Levere.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you again, Mr. Abelo. And item 12 is also a public hearing. So I'd like to invite Mr. Curnow up, and I will open the public hearing on item 12.
Good afternoon, Chair Levere, once again. Members of the board, APCO Gissemi, how are you today? For the record, my name is Mike Curnow with the Labor Relations Division of the County Executive Office. I come before your board today to ask your board to commence a public hearing on the adoption of a successor MOA between the county, Air Pollution Control District and the Ventura Employees Association, or VEA, to waive the second hearing and adopt the MOA at the conclusion of today's hearing to expedite its implementation. Formal negotiations with VEA began in September of 2022. After 8 bargaining sessions, we came to a tentative agreement on a successor MOA on November 18th of 2022, and VEA ratified it overwhelmingly in December 1st. The key economic terms of the MOA include 3 general salary increases in December of 2022, 2023, and 2024, of 5.5%, 4%, and 3.5% respectively. Full-time employees will receive 2 lump sum payments of $1,000 each in January of 2023 and 2024 respectively. Excuse me. A 1% MBA for all eligible employees, which would be the entirety of the district board employees. 3 increases to the county's flexible benefit allowance in December of 2022, 2023, and 2024 respectively. The establishment of a medical opt-out option, which includes a taxable cash payment. A $25 increase to the annual safety shoe reimbursement for those that are eligible. Establishment of Juneteenth as a paid holiday. An increase of 40 hours for most employees to the maximum of their vacation accrual banks. Modified bereavement leave to allow employees to utilize an additional day of accrued time when traveling to distant locations. And finally, the addition of new hire, employee referral, and employee retention incentives to help with recruitment and retention of employees. With that said, that's the entirety of my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Don't see any questions. There any public speakers?
Chair Lavere, there are no requests to speak for this item. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. Then I will close this public hearing as well, and we can entertain a motion.
So moved. Pollock.
Second?
Thank you both. Madam Clerk?
Thank you. Board Member Blatz.
Yes.
Board Member Edmonds.
Yes.
Board Member Huber.
Yes.
Board Member Long.
Yes.
Board Member Lopez.
Yes.
Board Member Parks.
Yes.
Board Member Pollock.
Yes.
Board Member Rollins.
Is it yes? You're on mute.
Yeah.
There we go.
Board Member Zaragoza.
Yes.
And Chair Lavere.
Yes, thank you. And thank you, Mr. Cornell. And one more labor item, item 13. I'd like to invite up Ms. Steele. Welcome.
Good afternoon, Chair Lavere, board members, and Executive Officer Gassimi. I'm Marjorie Deal, your Manager of Classification and Compensation. This is going to sound a little repetitive because the last 2 speakers were giving you the MOAs for SEIU and BEA respectively, and I'm here to present the same ideas or the same requirements, requests on behalf of unrepresented employees. So first of all, with GSIs, general salary increases, we are asking for approval for increases for all non-represented classifications, 5.5% effective 12/25/22, 4% effective 12/24/23, and 3.5% effective 12/22/24. These GSIs, as I mentioned, mirror exactly what was SEIU and BEA, which you have already approved. Maintaining competitive wages is essential to recruit and retain qualified employees, and these GSIs will go a long way to do that. We are not requesting any market-based adjustments because our study, which was very thorough, indicated that with the addition of the GSIs and the higher flex credits, that the classifications in the Air Pollution Control District will be competitive. We are asking for the same lump sum payments of two $1,000 payments for full-time employees and $500 for the part-time employees. Again, these are approved and part of SEIU and BEA. The first payments are expected on January 8th of 2023 and the second on January 7th of 2024. The management resolutions, again, also mirror those of SEIU and BEA, and they include the flexible benefit increases, which were already discussed. They are in a tiered level, and the increases will be effective 12/11/22, 12/10/2023, and 12/8/2024. We always increase them in December to ensure that the payments have been increased before the employees get hit with the increase on the premiums, which, as you all know, takes effect at the end of the month. We want to add new section 503, which is the medical opt-out option. Again, you've heard this before. That is for employees who have certified that they have coverage elsewhere and they do not need the county coverage. There are specified payments for these people that have certified they have other coverage, and it mirrors the 3 tiers, so a lesser amount for employee only, a middle amount for those one dependent and the higher amount for those that have a family. We want to modify Section 326 to allow pay adjustments within existing salary ranges for specified classifications no more than once a year, again, to match the other MOAs. We want to increase Section 401 to mirror and equal the same bilingual pay that SEIU and VEA has. We want to increase Section 613 for safety shoes, again, to match the other MOAs. Updates for Section 703 and 704 relate to the conferences and conventions that are going to be included for tuition reimbursement. When people are taking courses, they often go to conventions or other things that have training that is very similar and is certified or applicable to those that are taken as a different kind of course. So we want to include those that are directly job-related and specifically exclude conferences and conventions that don't offer, as I said, very job-related training. We also want to add June 19th for the holidays. And the last thing we're asking for is to increase the number of days of accrued leave that may be used to extend one's bereavement leave. It's currently 2 days of accrued leave can be used, and we want to add one more day to make it 3 days of accrued leave that you can use to extend your bereavement leave. With that, I turn to you if you have any questions.
Thank you so much, Ms. Deal. Board Member Edmonds?
I just wanted to say thank you to you, all three of you who've done these presentations. I've been on many negotiating teams, and often they're very difficult with really strong emotions and feelings. And the fact that the three of you came without a whole bunch of other people that are mad at the decision means you did a good job. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good point. I don't see any other comments on any public speakers, Madam Clerk.
Chair Rivera, there are no requests to speak for this comment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there a motion on this item?
I so move.
Second, Blatz.
Thank you. Board Member Blatz.
Yes.
Board Member Edmonds.
Yes.
Board Member Huber.
Yes.
Board Member Long.
Yes.
Board Member Lopez.
Yes.
Board Member Parks.
Yes.
Board Member Pollock.
Yes.
Board Member Rollins.
Yes.
Board Member Zaragoza.
Yes.
And Chair Lavere.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Dale, and thank you to the entire
Thank you, and
Labor
happy
Relations
holidays.
team. Great work. All right, Item 14 is another public hearing regarding the approval of the final draft 2022 Ventura County Air Quality Management Plan. So I'll open the public hearing. Mr. Cassini?
For the record, Ali Ghassemi, APCD Executive Officer. What I have before you is a request to approve the Ventura County 2022 Air Quality Management Plan and its corresponding negative declaration pursuant to CEQA requirements. I have a presentation slides that provide you with the overview of the development process of the 2022 Air Quality Management Plan, referred to as 22, the AQMP or SIP plan. And then after I'm done, I'm going to open it up for questions. So. Federal Clean Air Act is required EPA to establish a national ambient air quality standard for criteria pollutant. The areas that they cannot attain those standards are classified as non-attainment areas, and they are required to provide and develop a plan to demonstrate that they can meet those standards by a specified date. In October 2015, the EPA established, tightened actually, the National Ambient Air Quality Standards for ozone from 75 parts per billion, which referred to as ppb, to 70 ppb. Based on this standard, Ventura County has been classified as serious non-attainment area, and we required to develop a plan which includes strategies and procedures to attain these standards by specified dates. The plan, we have to demonstrate that, and also the plan should include steady progress in emission reduction, which is referred to as reasonable further progress. This, as I stated, Ventura County is classified as a serious non-attainment area, and we required to demonstrate compliance with this attainment by August of 2027. This slide represents actually a flow diagram of how the process works. First, we start with compilation of emission inventory, and we develop control strategies, and then we develop control factors and growth factors in it. And then we do photochemical modeling to see if we meet the standard by a specified date. If we don't, we go back again and we develop more control measures and come back and see if we can meet the standards. If we do, then we start implementing those control measures, and our air quality monitoring station that we have 5 of them, and it is very enhanced monitoring system, tells us how well we are doing during these attainment years. I want to point out that for RFP purposes, which was a reasonable further progress, we are using 2017 as a base year. And for photochemical modeling, we are using 2018 as a base year. What are the primary requirements of the plan? The first one is compilation of emission inventory and projection it for future years. The other is, and we also have to develop control strategies. The control strategies has actually 2 components. One of them is a local component, which the district is responsible to develop those control measures and implement them. The other component is the state and federal components. This is the strategies and control measures that state and federal are required or authorized to mandate and implement them. And as I said before, we have to have a reasonable further progress. We have to demonstrate steady progress in emission reduction during our attainment years. And we show by photochemical modeling that we can demonstrate that we can meet the ozone attainment. And there are other control measures in case if we need to in order to meet the attainment year. This figure, I just included this slide to show you who is the contributor, who is the major contributor to the emissions in the basin, Ventura County. Based on 2008 ROG emission, we have about 40% of the total emission, which is about 29.48 tons per day, is coming from mobile sources. And the rest are from solvent use, 41% from solvent use, and other stuff like pesticides and fertilizer, 4%, petroleum industry is contributing to 8%. This graph shows you the trend, emission trends, starting from 2018, and it goes all the way to 2040. If you look at these graphs, the solvent use are being increased by 9% by 2030 and 6% in 2026. On-road vehicles, they are being reduced by 40% in 2023, 2026, and 50% by 2030. Off-road sources, 19% by 2026 and 52% by 2030. Petroleum industry, 33% by 26 and 26% by 2030. And all other, it shows flat. You don't see that much of an increase or decrease. Why am I talking about ROG or NOx? Because these are the precursor for ozone development. If the NOx and ROC then actually in the presence of sun can combine with other pollutants and create ozone. Now, for 2018 NOx emissions, the total is 18.07 tons per day, but 87% are being contributed by mobile sources, and the remaining 13% is from stationary sources. Next slide is going to show you how the emission trends is going to look like. As you see on the graph, On-road sources are being reduced by 60% by 2026 and 69% or almost 70% by 2030. Off-road sources by 40%, reduced by 40% by 2026 and 50% by 2030. Electric utilities and petroleum industries are expected to be increased mildly, but petroleum industries are increased by 48% by 2026 and 71% by 2030. If you remember from slides before, we talked about the control strategies that I said it has two components. One of them is the local component that the district is responsible for develop and implementing it. Our local component is control measures, existing control measures that it was passed along from the past AQMP, and we have other further study control measures as well. These are the control measures that we have to do analysis and feasibility study in order to start adopting and including them. We have transportation conformity budget. What it means is it set the total emission increases that we can have from on-road motor vehicles. And incentive programs. We have Carl Moyer, Farmers, CAP, and other AB 617 programs that help us to meet the state and federal standards. As you know, district has the authority over only point sources or stationary sources, but this program helps us to reduce emissions from state and federal sources. And then it becomes ARB or state components that they developed the state implementation plan that includes all of the control or control measures related to sources that they have the authority over. We have, just to give you a detail of how many control measures do we have adopted 12 control measures. For the study control measures, we have about 20, which is actually not only comply with Cleaner Act, it comply with California Cleaner Act, which is we can develop control measures based on every feasible measures. And we have about 14 existing rules and 5 new rules. And there was one rule that it was actually brought in from last AQMP that we are not adopting it because it was, we do that reduction, we got that reduction through another rule. These are ARB control measures. I'm not going to go through it, but these are control measures that is going to be implemented and adopted by state, and it's regarding the sources that they have the authority over: on-road mobile sources, off-road mobile sources, area sources, and they have incentive program, EV infrastructure funding support. These are all control measures being handled by state. Reasonable further progress. This one, one of the requirements is we have to show steady progress during our attainment years, and our RFP is based on 2017 baseline. By 2023, we have to show 18% reduction, 2026, 27%, which is 3% per every year. Attainment demonstration, as I stated, we have to, by photochemical modeling, is required for areas that they have been recognized as a serious non-attainment area or actually severe or actually more. By 2026, the projected design value, we have on monitoring shows that for Simi Valley, we're gonna have right on the spot, like 70 parts per billion. For Ojai, it's gonna be actually 64 ppm, 64 ppb or 0.064 ppm. ppm is parts per million. Thousand Oaks, 0.065 ppm, and Piru, 0.666 ppm. I'm missing one monitoring station, but that monitoring station is below the standards. This is just photographical expressing how ozone concentration was in 2000 versus 2020. The more green or the dark green means better air quality, like we are meeting the ozone standards. The green is like, there are certain range, like for the dark green is between 0.06 to 0.07. Light green is 0.06, more than 0.06, but less than 0.075. And as you go to yellow and brown, that they are higher concentration. As you compare these two, you see how much progress we have made by 2020. Weight of evidence. What is the weight of evidence? This is a specific analysis that has to be done in order to show, to verify what photochemical modeling is stating that, for example, we are demonstrating the attainment by certain dates. So these are, the weight of evidence shows that we can attain the standard by 2026 based on ozone trends that we have between 2000 and 2001. We have only exceedance days. The exceedance days has been reduced by 95%. Design values has been reduced by 27%. If you look at the emission trends from 2000 to 2001, these are based on actual data. ROG has been reduced by 45%. NOx has been reduced by 50%. And 4 out of 5 monitoring stations are showing attainment already. Important partners, we couldn't do it without collaboration with other agencies. This is actually a plan that requires a lot of attention by other agencies. I'm not going to go through each responsibility, but this is CARB, EPA, South Coast, Southern California Association of Government, or SCAG, County of Ventura and local cities, Ventura County Transportation Commission, Ventura County businesses, and the public. Public review, we had had public workshop, we had 2 public review period, total of 60 days total, from August 31st through September 30th, and from November 10th through December 13th. We emailed 105 public notices. 2 public notices in Ventura County Star was published. District website, we had 146 page views prior to the workshop, which was in September, 75 page views after public workshop, and we haven't had any public comments. We got some verbal comments that it was incorporated, and we got comments from EPA and state that has been incorporated. Next step is we're gonna, this board approve this, we're gonna submit this to ARB, and then ARB is gonna include it with other districts and provide them with the state implementation plan, and they're gonna submit it to EPA. Now, I have done with my presentation, and I take any question you may have.
Thank you for that thorough presentation. I see Board Member Pollock has a question.
Sure.
Yeah, Ali, I was a little bit surprised to see solvents as big a part as it is and rising. Can you talk a little bit more about what's behind that, and is that going to impact our ROG levels significantly?
No. It's not going to impact our ROG level, but ROG level is continuously based on what we have projected. Because the way it works is you develop the emission inventory, then you develop growth factor based on the population increase, that it depends on the population increases and also business development. And then we develop control measures. So all of this is actually a state measure, consumer products. They develop their baseline based on the growth factor or population growth factor and control measures that they have. It shows the projection is going to be increased. There are more that they can do, but at this point, this is what we have. It's not something that we can, like at this point, we have total control over it.
Well, give me some examples. What kind of solvents are driving this?
Like all of the spray cans. These are like being, for example, the consumer. Like this, every spray that the household use, they could be like, these are consumer products. The products that being used by people like you and I. However, there are certain of these material are being controlled under control measures. They call it area source control measures. Some we haven't developed any control, like not us, state hasn't developed any control measure at this point. And the growth factor indicates that these emissions are being increased.
So
I don't have any
Is there anything we can do as a county APCD or do we have
like
to rely on
one of the
state?
things that our agency is planning to do, but we keep this one as one of the control measures that if we need it, we're gonna do. We have an architectural rule that we already brought it to you and it was adopted, but there is an exemption in that rule for small cans. Like we are planning to bring back to the board if needed to actually take that exemption out. And we put this as one of the contingency measure, for example.
Okay, and last question, Ali. I noted that South Coast AQMD sent a pretty sternly worded letter to the US EPA about them not stepping up enough on their part to reduce emissions, and they felt that they couldn't meet their own requirements. The federal government didn't do their part. Do we have that same issue here?
Okay, yes, we do. Like one of the sources that, for example, our district has a problem with is ocean-going vessels. And if you guys recall, we have the only thing we can do is providing incentive program for these ocean-going vessels to slow down when they are coming to the harbor, go through the Channel Island, and start from actually the San Francisco Bay, going through Santa Barbara channels and come to the Ventura and go all the way south to South Coast. This is a source that we don't have any control over. State has some authority, but this is a federal source. State is putting this source as one of in their control measures. But the problem, for example, we are facing, the control measures that they have, the compliance date is not 2026. South Coast compliance date is 2036. They have a long way to show or demonstrate the attainment with this standard, the 70 parts per billion standard. Ventura County, on the other hand, don't have that luxury. We are classified as serious non-attainment area, and we have only up to 2026. We believe we can do it. Photochemical modeling shows that we can do it, but we are not going to sit down and just hope that something is going to happen from state and federal. We are talking to political affiliations, and we are bringing our request to make this either provide us with funding so we can fund this program, that incentive program that we have for ocean-going vessels as long as we can until a rule being adopted, something is going to require those ships to slow down, or make it mandatory requirements. So we are actually putting the effort. I'm hoping we're going to be successful. And if I need any help from my board, definitely I will ask for it, as I have done before.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm always learning something new at every meeting. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Qasimi? Are there any public speakers, Madam Clerk?
Chair LeBear, there are no requests to speak for this item. Thank you.
Thank you. So then I will close the public hearing on item 14 and entertain a motion.
I so move.
Second.
And I moved that with the idea that it takes a tremendous amount of work and collaboration to develop this kind of thing. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the guidance and help that you guys given us.
It seems too that a lot of our circumstance is the result of being in the state of California, and seeing that California overall is having some difficulty attaining what it needs to attain.
Yes.
Yeah, I have one quick question that just made me think of. During the time that all the tankers were backed up in Long Beach, did we see any changes in our, from the offshore air pollution in Ventura County due to that?
I did not personally look at that period to see how it is, but usually we get our monitoring station always tell us what is the air quality. And if you are interested, if you go and put the date and put the location, most likely you will get some answers. My belief is it should not have affected Ventura County, but I don't know. I cannot answer your question.
Thank you, Ali.
No problem.
Madam Clerk?
Thank you. Board Member Blatz?
Yes.
Board Member Edmonds?
Yes.
Board Member Huber?
Yes.
Board Member Long?
Yes.
Board Member Lopez?
Yes.
Board Member Parks?
Yes.
Board Member Pollock?
Yes.
Board Member Rollins?
Yes.
Board Member Zaragoza?
Yes.
And Chair Lavere.
Yes, and thank you, Mr. Gassimi, to you and your entire team for all of the work that went into putting this plan together.
Pleasure, Chair Lover. Thank you.
All right, our next item is item 15, another public hearing, and I'll open it up. Mr. Gassimi.
For the record, Ali Ghasemi, Executive Officer. I'm requesting your board to approve the district fiscal year 22-23 service rates and fees, which includes hourly rate, duplication fees, and miscellaneous fees. Staff is proposing to increase the service hourly rate by the CPI. The CPI for a period of April 2021 to April 2022 is about 7.7%. For your background, I'd like to point out some of the following. Service rates and fees are designed to recover the cost of the program. Majority of the fees are permit processing fees. There has been no changes, any changes in the methodology used in development of the service rates and fees from prior years. They're always the same, always we do the same methodology. Service rate is set per hourly cost of particular worker classification, which includes salary, benefits, and allocable overhead. The calculated service rates, which is based on adopted district budget to cover the staff's direct and district cost, came up to be 10.7%, which is higher than the prior year and higher than the CPI. Health and Safety Code, Section 41-512.7, Subdivision B, limits the maximum fee increases to 15% in any calendar year. These are the things that I thought you should have before you make your decisions. Staff is also proposing 20 cents per page for duplication related to the Public Records Act, and it's only if the request is more than 10 pages. For compilation of district information that requires this separate district analysis, creation of the new report, data compilation, etc., we will charge for all district costs associated with the task. I'm done with my presentation. I'm ready for any question you may have.
Thank you. Don't see any questions online? Nope. Okay, so we can, any public comments?
Chair Lavere, there are no requests to speak for this item. Thank you.
Okay, and we can entertain a motion.
So moved, Pollock.
Second.
Board Member Blatz?
Yes.
Board Member Edmonds?
Yes.
Board Member Huber?
Yes.
Board Member Long?
Yes.
Board Member Lopez?
Yes.
Board Member Parks?
Yes.
Board Member Pollock?
Yes.
Board Member Rollins?
Yes.
Board Member Zaragoza?
Yes.
Chair Lavere.
Yes. Item 16 is the approval of our District 2023 Rural Development Calendar.
Yes. This is annually, I'm required to come to you to approve the list of all of the control measures that we're going to have for proceeding years. Staff requires your board approve the rule calendar for January through December 2023. This is based on the Health and Safety Code, Section 4923A, requires the district to publish a list of rules and or tentatively schedule for consideration and adoption during the calendar year 2023. Staff recommends your board to approve this list. If you have any questions, I respond to your question now.
I don't see any questions from my colleagues, so we can entertain a motion.
Move approval, Zaragoza.
Second.
Thank you both. Madam Clerk?
Board Member Blatz? Board Member Edmonds?
Yes.
Board Member Huber?
Yes.
Board Member Long?
Yes.
Board Member Lopez?
Yes.
Board Member Parks?
Yes.
Board Member Pollock?
Yes.
Board Member Rollins?
Yes.
Board Member Zaragoza?
Yes.
Chair Lavere.
Yes. And then our last item this afternoon, I don't think will be very controversial, but Mr. Kissimmee?
Last one is I would like to inform the board the January board meeting is canceled and we're going to proceed in February. And before I depart, I would like to wish everybody a happy holiday. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas with the family and enjoy your holiday season.
Great. I'll move approval.
Thank you.
Yeah. Amendment accepted.
That's all.
Board Member Blatz.
Yes.
Board Member Edmonds.
Absolutely.
Board Member Huber.
Yes.
Board Member Long.
Yes.
Board Member Lopez.
Yes.
Board Member Parks.
Yes.
Board Member Pollock.
Yes.
Board Member Rollins.
Yes.
Board Member Zaragoza.
Yes, and Merry Christmas.
And Chair Lavere.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kissimmee, for all the agenda items today. And again, just want to wish all of my retiring colleagues best wishes in whatever comes next. And we will reconvene in February. And until then, I wish everybody happy and healthy holidays and a prosperous new year. So we'll adjourn today's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Happy holidays.
Go on.
Happy holidays.
Likewise.